Welcome to the Rotary Time Show, a public service program presented by Rotarian Lynn Heinrich of State Farm Insurance, McLean, Virginia. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. The success of a Rotary Club is dependent on the club president. They lead, inspire, and motivate and connect their clubs with communities and others locally and around the world. Joining me remotely is Rotarian Joe Namdo, who is the current president of the Rotary Club of Annandale, Virginia for the 2022-23 Rotary year. Welcome, President Joe, to the Rotary Time Show.
Thank you.
And we're glad you're here and excited to learn about the many initiatives that your club is involved with in the community. But before we do that, I love having our audience know a little bit about our guests. So I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about your background and your life before Rotary.
Okay, well, I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm actually from a refugee family. So my parents, they're from Vietnam and they came in right after the war. So I grew up in Baltimore, went to school there. Eventually, I came to DC for work, came to work for Bank of America. I've been organizing in the Asian American and young professional community specifically before then. And I got pulled into the DC Mayor's Office for Asian Affairs since I speak Vietnamese and did community outreach for them. I got into real estate and, now I'm in Rotary.
Okay, good. Are you still doing work with the Asian American communities?
Very much so. So officially, I still run the Asian Golf Association. I had like an Asian real estate group for a while, and we've expanded that since we had so many more diverse people coming, and we just call it international now. But
okay.
Yeah, still pretty much involved with the Asian American and Vietnamese American communities, in addition to the general community overall.
Oh, wonderful to hear. That's all good news, good stuff. How did you get involved in Rotary and in specifically the Rotary Club of Annandale?
So I've been a longtime organizer on a social networking site called meetup.com. So it's basically high school and college clubs, except we're not in school anymore. So I ran some different clubs, real estate, Asian and Vietnamese, and then COVID came, and that pretty much destroyed meeting up and getting together. So right after you'll remember, right after I got my COVID shot, we had a time when like, okay, well, let's go out and discover what the world is like again. So I've heard about Rotary and like I was like, oh, I want to get involved with the overall community. And they were doing hybrid as well. I think that may have been the gateway. So I got on a Zoom before, and then I extended that into coming in person.
All right.
So the flexibility of the club.
Well, we're glad Zoom was in place to encourage you and to welcome you into Rotary. Tell us a little bit about your club, the Annandale Club, where it meets, what kind of club meeting you all have, how many people you might have in the club. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we meet at the Jukebox Diner in Annandale, Virginia, most Wednesdays at 12:15 for lunch. I've started an initiative where we're doing a monthly happy hour the first Wednesdays of the month in the evenings, just to attract newer members and folks who can't make it for lunch.
Wonderful. How many members do you have?
We're a little bit on the smaller side compared to some other clubs. We're around 20.
Okay.
I understand that the Annandale Club, maybe 30 or 40 years ago was actually one of the largest clubs, like significant, I don't know, 80 to 100 people. And I heard
Wow.
the governor of Virginia used to be a member and, things have changed. But we have a very, very motivated, very welcoming club.
Absolutely. Small but mighty means your job is cut out for you too, to take it back
Hmm.
up to that 100 mark again.
We are.
No pressure. Tell us about some of your club's major service functions.
So, I am new to the Rotary. Like I said, I joined as pretty much when we were allowed out after COVID. So, I'm gonna say, probably like, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and then like, probably the mid part of that. So I'm kind of newer. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, I understand pre-pandemic that the Rotary Club of Annandale used to do food packaging for like less fortunate in Northern Virginia. And they used to do that with Northern Virginia Community College, as well as Annandale High School. Things have changed at both of those schools, so it's harder to do that now. But some of the things that I've been doing the stream cleanups in the Annandale area parks and along Americana Drive, where there's a quite a bit of littering problem. And also, we've done like a food drive, and we worked with the Annandale Volunteer Fire Department on that, and we raised hundreds of pounds of food for ACA, which is our Annandale Christian Community for Action, in which they have the largest food pantry in the Annandale area.
Gotcha. So the pandemic shut you guys down, but when you came
Hmm.
back, are you doing hybrid meetings or just all face-to-face at this time?
We're doing face to face, but then we have the hybrid option for people who want to check in over Zoom. So I've noticed every now and then we'll have somebody pop in over Zoom, but I think most clubs now, from what I understand and what I've seen, I've traveled to quite a few, is like, I think most folks are kind of down. They just want to be in person and, you know, meet people, unless it's completely not necessary, possible.
So, but you do come face-to-face when you're doing some of
Mhm.
your community service functions.
All of them right now. I think it's important to be in person for those. I mean, because you meet the different folks in the community, and people see us out there. They're
Hmm.
like, what's going on, and maybe they can get involved next time. So you have to be out there.
Let's go back to when you became president, and you said that you're fairly new to Rotary. Were there tools that you used to help better prepare you or educate you on Rotary, or did you attend some of the leadership development opportunities that the district has that help to prepare individuals to take on these roles?
Ooh, so I was pretty much thrown into the fire, and it's actually pretty famous in the district. But I just came in there to the CPETs,
Okay.
the president-elect training, not knowing much and learning as I went along. But I mean, I think that was a really good introduction because I saw a lot of passionate people, all at once,
Hmm.
just looking to help out in our communities here in Northern Virginia, Maryland, Delaware. So I mean, it was a baptism by fire, but I was converted.
Okay, all right. And it's nice to know that you found value in the leadership development program that the district offers to prepare its
Mhm.
president. So that's always a plus, especially for our audience members like yourself who might be new and thinking, I'm not ready. How do I get ready? CPET's helped you. Great. There are a lot of programs that are out there. Let's talk about your tenure now. Um, what new programs do you think or you plan to implement during your tenure?
So, one of the things in our club is, attracting new and younger members,
Hmm.
and it's hard to do that as a lunch club, and I've noticed that all around the district. So, breakfast sometimes is good, but even then, the parents, they have to take their kids to school. So I noticed that for our current clubs, they don't for our current members, they don't like it, but we do have to shift towards evening in the long terms because that's when people who can't people who go to lunch are usually um, retired or self-employed. So
Hmm.
people who work for other people, they can't take an hour and a half off or 2 hours for lunch. So definitely want to emphasize that, we have to switch towards evenings.
Have you found that that has worked for some of your members? Are they open to that?
It's fascinating. So some of the happy hours I've been doing, we've actually attracted people who they haven't been coming to the lunch club, and they told me they rule of 85, I believe, but they didn't have to come to lunch, so they just didn't. They were still longtime members, but when I started to do the evening things, they really liked that, and they're like, oh, I get to meet new people, and like I said, with my sites on Meetup.com, I still organize those groups. I
Okay.
created I almost want to call it like a satellite or a Friends of Rotary kind of thing, and it's on Meetup. If people in the audience are familiar with that site, but it's called Nova Community Service and Social. So I get folks from all over Northern Virginia joining that, and when I create like our Rotary social, I post it on Meetup as well, and I've had some people come, and they're starting to get interested in they've helped out with our community service projects, with the stream cleanups especially. I actually get folks in their 20s, 30s, and 40s helping out with that. But just getting these people involved like through that way as well.
That sounds like I like that. I call meetup.com. Is that what it is?
That's right. So like I said, it's like a it's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like Facebook groups. Maybe
Okay.
you've been a part of those before. So like it's a way for people to get together, and like I said, I've had quite a few folks come to our happy hours, and actually some of the other chapters of Rotary, I think Sterling, they did a stream cleanup. I posted that, and they have like a potential new member from there who actually came to
And that
their
was going
stream
to be my
cleanup, which I
question
cross
to
posted.
you. Yeah, that was going to be my question to you. Were you able to get potential members from those activities that you've posted on Meetup? So you said one of the other clubs did get a member. Have you been fortunate yet to get one?
Um, this is the ironic thing, but not yet, and I don't want to be pushy about it. And our members who've met our current Rotary members, like I said, they they tend to be older. The average age is 75, so they're meeting these people, and they're mostly in their 30s and 40s, and they're pretty impressed. They're like, don't push these people too hard. I mean, don't when you have a good product, it sells itself. Don't try like too hard. So this is something we've just implemented in the last few months, really. So people are getting aware of our club, and especially the folks that are in the Annandale area, because I want to recruit specifically for our club. I want to recruit the people in the Annandale area.
Yeah.
I actually refer those people who live maybe further out, like I said, Chantilly or Alexandria or whatever. I refer those to the local clubs. I was like, check out your local chapter. It's closer to your home.
Gotcha.
But the Annandale folks, they're becoming my friends, and I
Right.
think in time they'll be mine.
All right. Well, hold that thought. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about some of your challenges, some of the commitments you may or may not have had to modify as a result of the pandemic. But right now, we're going to take a short break and be right back and talk more with President Joe Namdo.
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. We're working together as partners and professionals, while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're here talking with Rotarian Joe Namdo, who is the president of the Rotary Club of Annandale, Virginia, for the 2022-23 Rotary year. When we left, we were talking about some of your commitments that your club had with some community activities. Is there anything that you all had to change as a result of the pandemic? You no longer do you had to modify some commitments because of that.
Yes. So our Rotaract Club at Nova Community College, it's not active because like I said, the pandemic, the students weren't allowed to come weren't allowed to go to school, and actually most of them still haven't returned. So one of our members is the dean of math and science over at Nova Community College, and he told me, and I went to confirm, but campus is kind of empty. So a lot of the students, they still have the option of taking classes online, and they tend to stack those all the in-person classes that they have to go to. They'll stack those all on one day, and then they'll just come to that, and the rest will be online. So our college version of our club, Rotaract, it's not it's just on pause because college life over at Nova Community College has been I guess paused. Um, Over at Interact Club at Annandale High School, it has more potential,
Oh, good,
which
good.
they've been able to. Fairfax County made them go back, so
Yeah, those kids are back in school.
there's
Yeah.
new people in charge, but that we're going to work with them and rebuild that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And they tend to have a very supportive school environment at Annandale High School. So congratulations on getting that back, started. You've talked about some of the projects. Now, which one of these projects is giving you the most personal satisfaction and why?
I didn't even think about it, but it's actually the Taste of Annandale. So our Rotary Club, the president before me, and he just passed away. That's how I became the chairman of the Taste of Annandale with only 2 months' notice. But I was able to do a pretty good job on that. We have a surplus, and we're gonna be distributing thousands of dollars to Annandale area elementary, middle, and the high school. So we were able to bring the community back together since COVID. So the last one we did was 2019. So this is the first time we did it. We just got it completed 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
April 29th. But they it was a big success. Yes, it brought everybody together.
Wonderful. Has the motto, which Rotary has, service above self, has that been helpful to you in conducting your business, your work life, or even your personal life? And if so, in what way?
The four-way test, when you break it down, it's actually the golden rule. So, treat others as you would want to be treated. And, I've always had a moral compass, but I think when you have to say that every week, the four-way test, it kind of, it embeds itself even more into you. So even in my business, I do real estate. So real estate, it may go down. I mean, and when my clients ask, do you think it's going to go up? I've seen other folks that they're trying to do a sale or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, it's always going to go up. It's like, no, I don't know. But if you want me to help you, I will help you because, I'm very good at that. But you know, you want to make sure it's beneficial to all concerned. And I've adjusted my business. I'm doing more commercial leasing because it's always a good time if you're an entrepreneur to do your business. Maybe not so much if we're investing. So even if it hurts me a little bit on the side, the integrity, the four-way test, it means a lot to me.
All right. Given the new normal that we're operating in, I'm going to ask you, what club function do you think will help you to grow?
So I think, I think after a period of isolation, people are starved for connection. So I think, Rotary is a good way to meet new people, to increase your business opportunities, your networking. And, I guess you could say it's almost like this new normal, the way things have changed. As far as interacting goes, I think, the folks that people tried stuff online, they didn't like it so much. In the end, you do have to come together. You do have to meet people in real life because that's how you get things done. So I think the clubs that do that well and manage this desire for connection, they'll do very well.
When you think about membership and bringing in new members, how do you get your club members to understand and own the fact that every Rotarian in the club has a responsibility for the club's growth beyond just proposing a new member?
So, like I was mentioning before, some of the members, they may be older and they can't go to the service events for the stream cleanups. Some of my members, like, if they get injured during like a stream cleanup, falling and maybe falling into the stream or tripping on a rock, they could hurt themselves. So, we just want to make sure folks can be involved and welcome new members. And I think the happy hours are a great way because nothing's easier and simpler than just being kind, welcoming, and sharing your experiences. So my members have a lot of experience to share with the younger professionals coming to my happy hours.
That sounds wonderful. Does your club have a formal onboarding program for its new members, like fireside chats or the Red Badge program, any of those programs? Does your club do any of those for new members?
I understand before COVID that they did have like the red badge, blue badge thing, but we haven't had new members since COVID except for the new one that I just got. Our Boy Scouts liaison. So we just Annandale Rotary just adopted the Boy Scouts. So we're the charting organization, but as far as like having the new folks go through like a process, I've been getting our new member to come to events and even work for the service projects, which I think is the best way. Just get them and their hands dirty,
Oh, absolutely. So what do you do? What kind of orientation does your club provide for a new member to get them acclimated to the club?
Like I said, I'm a newer person, and I learned quite a few things from our president before me, but he actually passed away before he got to teach me how to welcome the new folks. So, interestingly enough, some things that he did, some of the folks in the club, they're like, should we continue this or do something new? So, I think just it's going to be my imprint. So I think maybe I'll create some rituals and some things like a special welcome. We have the classification talk, of course, but maybe like a period where like we just make sure we keep on them and make sure like they're involved and feel welcome. But I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah. Have you gone and maybe visited other clubs? I heard you say early on that you had maybe to get some ideas.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been going to a lot of the different clubs, and some of the things I've learned are really fascinating. Just ideas for service events, for attracting new members, and also like even just doing like the meetings. So some will like as far as even if they're just a lunch club, like they'll have like separate checks and things like that where people sign off, and it's been educational because how can I make my club better and more economically reasonable, because
Right.
sometimes it can be quite expensive. So I'm learning different models from different clubs, and I planned on using them, but sometimes my club members, they have a little bit of pushback. But I think in time, the positive things that I learned from other clubs, we could introduce them. Yeah.
All righty. Sounds good. If you can give me 2 sentences as a message that you want to leave to young professionals like yourself who might be out there who are looking at our show today and interested in service, what would you tell them?
I would tell these people, young professionals, that Rotary's been around for 100 years, so for over 100 years. So like it is changing. And we can be we can be part of that change to um, make it different and more adapted to the needs of the young professionals. It's a great way to build up your resume, build a great way to build up your business, and especially since if you're younger folks, the clubs they really want the younger folks to join and
Yeah,
take on
yeah.
leadership roles so you can make an impact really soon, really big.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, President Joe, for joining us today. We hope you'll join us sometime again and share some of the new things that you have implemented in your club.
Okay, thank you, Deborah.
For the Rotary Times program, I'm your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. You're welcome to join us at a Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or service project. You only need to call us or look us up on the internet to see where we are. We offer hosted meetings that are in person, virtual, or some hybrid format. You only need to look us up for the details. Remember, our time is your time, and it's time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 117 years of service above self.